Hey guys, okay, so I'm playing this game called RimWorld, and just so that you understand what's going on, I'm going to explain how to survive the plague and other diseases or infections, and so that this is not outdated. I'm recording this on February 20th, 2018, and I'm a gamer. My name is Brian, and I love Steam on the PC platform. So let's get into this. This is RimWorld, and as you can see, there's this guy. I've named him Hunter, and he has malaria. Now you can see where it says malaria minor, 67%, and his immunity is at 94. And yet, when you go into his character, he is super immune. So he's going to get through this pretty easy. Um, Whereas my other person, who is a pyromaniac, which you gotta watch them, I don't like even having them in my group, named Tayo, is not super immune, has malaria, and yet is beating it. As you can see here with her malaria is at 67%, and once it gets to 100%, they die. But her immunity is 73%. Now, with malaria and most diseases and most infections, you want the immunity to reach 100% before the disease or the virus reaches 100%. So, how do you beat it? Well, first of all, if you go here to the architect and you go to floors, you'll see a sterile tile. Now, these are made with steel and silver, so they're costly, and you put them down into a room. Once you have a floor, make sleeping bags or bedrolls. Don't waste beds. But for those that don't understand how to make beds super easy, you hunt. And once you have hunted enough of something, like over here in my bar, I have 206 turkey leather. I have 135 hair, and then I have 92 beaver skin. So if you go over here to the furniture and you see the bedroll, if you left click, it will open up a menu of what you want it to be made out of. It does not have to be made out of cloth. This is something a lot of people screw up on. Now, it only takes 50 of whatever you're going to choose here, so make sure you have it. I showed where I have more than enough to put down some other bedrolls. Actually, let's go ahead and make one more bedroll. So I have 135 hair, so that's rabbit. So we're going to left click, we find hair leather, and then you press E in order to flip your bed, and I'm going to put it down here. I'm going to go ahead and get my character. Well, let's see here. Who is assigned to constructing? Oops, I didn't mean to do that. My bad. I went outside. So anyways, I'm going to show you how to, once I get back into the game. Alright, I'm going to show you how to beat this malaria or anything else. Well, actually, my doo-doo sick has to make it. So he's going to make another bedroll here. He's the one that's super immune, so it's alright. So once you make a bed on the sterile environment, you can also, I think you can also use metal, I believe, on their floor. It wasn't metal. Alright, well, use the sterile tile for right now. And then you click the bed, and where it says prisoner, right beside it says medical. So click medical. Now, here's what is awesome about this. Alright, if you look here and restrict, I have everybody's joy at the beginning of the day, and at the end of the day, my pyromaniac has 3 hours at night and 3 hours in the day to seek joy, so that way they don't set fires to anything. I personally do not like pyromaniacs. But a long time ago, when somebody got sick, you had to click the sleep button, and then you had to fill their bar with sleep. Let me go ahead and undo that though. Whoops. Okay, let's copy this one. You had to fill their bar with sleep so that they slept through their disease, and then you had to make sure they were fed. So the two things that somebody needs is some of the best bandages. Uh-oh, this person's ready to go. Let's see who's going to tend to them. Alright, so you need bandages to heal, and I'm using the best medicine for the people who are really, really sick. What you do is when they've got something major like malaria, go to the best quality and then take it back down to herbal medicine after they're healed. Everybody here, as you can see, except for the ones that are sick, are only using the herbal medicine. And then what this does, well, Vicky should be too. What this does is if you get really good medicine, like right here, I got 24, it saves it, and that's good. So you need medicine and you need sleep and food. Make sure that they're fed. Make sure that they are always healed up and they sleep. And so because these are medical beds in here and they're all designated as medical, anybody who's hurt will go here and they will sleep here instead of their regular beds. Alright? Like Hunter's bed is up here for right now, but you saw him earlier when he was down there. He may be immune already, and he is. Alright, so he survived malaria. But Tayo is not super immune, and you can see she's beating the crap out of this malaria because she's sleeping, she's in a medical area, and she's being fed. Because this bed is meant for medical, it forces her to sleep until she's fully healed. Every now and then they will get up just to eat or just to do a joy thing, and then they go right back to bed. But it's rare. So yeah, so again, in order to beat malaria on RimWorld, you've got to make medical beds by clicking the medical, put them in a room with a sterile tile, which is through floors, sterile tile, put it down. I'm not finished over here yet. Have it lit though, because it will say, you know, you want it to look nice. So I have 4 beds here that are meant for medical. They're just sleeping bedrolls right now. And yes, you can amputate on them, you can do surgeries and things like that. To a point. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. And again, this is RimWorld on how to survive the plague or other diseases by making an early game medical facility. And for those wondering, I do have a medieval download content, so you guys don't have that. But for those wondering, this is all I have on the normal, on vanilla. So I do not have any of the electricity at all or any of the other things. I am in super early, you know, RimWorld, and I started off as a regular tribe. So, yeah. So I want everybody to realize that well, I don't want to use her. You have to absolutely have the people sleeping, fed, and bandaged when they're sick. And she's now at 90% immunity, and now she needs tending, 91%. And her malaria is only at 71%, and there she is getting attended. So again, when she is healed, I'm going to switch this back down to herbal medicine. Hunter has already been healed, so he's going back down to herbal medicine. Everybody else should be herbal. I know in Australia they say herbal, not herbal, but in America we say herbal. The H is silent. So yeah, that's what you do, guys. So these are tips. Lay down the medical floors, the sterile tile. Put down sleeping bags, not beds, and make them medical. And always make sure everybody is only using the herbal medicine or worse. And then when they get really sick, like Tayo here, or whatever her name is, that's when you flip them up to the best quality medical care. Okay? So that's what you do, guys. And for those who don't know what to do as far as medicine goes, she's at 94% immunity, 95 now, so she's almost healed. There is a downloadable content that allows you to create military stuff. Like if you go to, like if I go to furniture here, I can make a U.S. Marine Corps or U.S. Army sleeping bag. Okay. Now later, when I'm able to use drugs and I make a drug lab, you can actually make a slightly better quality medicine herb, super early game, and it's almost equal to the tier above the herbal. It's pretty much, that's what it is. And I think it requires wood, cloth, and like 3 herbal medicines to make one of these things. And it's something called like I don't have any on me right now, but it's something called like U.S. Army Medical or U.S. Marine Corps Medical Kit or something like that. And again, so I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm coming up on 10 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and shut this off. But this was recorded in February of 2018. There's so many videos on RimWorld that are discussing things that are outdated now. And this is super early game. And I believe Tayo should be healed up. Yep, Tayo is healed up. She survived malaria. And as you can see, she absolutely is not super immune. Now, because she's a pyromaniac, I have to keep her content up. So now I'm making a room for her. I'm going to go ahead and lay that foundation down. Anybody who is a pyro, you've got to watch them, man. Give them more joy by going to the restrict button down here, finding them, and adding more bars of joy in the morning and in the night. And what this does, as soon as they wake up, it increases their joy. Then they go through the day working and doing whatever. And then 3 hours before bed, they will actually work on getting their joy back up. You also want to make sure they have their own room. And if they have a lover, if they've fallen in love, make sure they have a double bed. But I personally cannot stand the pyromaniacs, because it only takes one fit for them to burn this whole complex down. So you got to have stone walls. You got to make sure that the pyro has their own room, and you got to make sure they have more joy. So yeah, take care, guys.